So recently, the Steakhouse fragrance trend has been going around. Tag video, and I've been tagged. So let's get into it. What's good, YouTube? Nate the Fragrance Guy here. Welcome back to NTFG Reviews. I have been tagged in the Steakhouse fragrance video. Shout out to Beginner's Mindset, my boy Johnny. Appreciate you for thinking about me. Let's get into these fragrances. So before we start this, when I think of a steakhouse dinner or a fancy steakhouse, date, I'm thinking of something fancy, like I just said. Fancy, a little higher price, not just your average steakhouse, not an Outback, Texas Longhorn, Texas Roadhouse. No, we thinking Roof Chris, Morton's, which is one of my favorites. What other ones? You got STK. It's plenty of them. This one here in Jersey, a really nice one called the Chart House. It's right on the water, right at Weehawken, looking right at the city. You got the skyline. It's beautiful, very romantic. The lights get dark. That steakhouse, the fancy steakhouse. The lights are dimmed. It's very intimate setting. It's a vibe, right? So you want a fragrance that's gonna be intimate, sensual, very seductive, a sexy fragrance. So I have 7 here, and I feel like it would be perfect for that case scenario. Let's get into it. Starting off, we have one from the house of Mancera, and it is Instant Crush. Focus. There we go. Instant Crush. A lot of people like to give this and BR540 the comparison. It does remind me of BR540 a little bit, but not a little bit. It's quite enough to remind you. When you smell it, you do get that vibe. I'm not gonna say it's like a little bit, but you definitely get a BR540 vibe. But with this one, you get a rose note, and it's way heavier on the woods. It dries down very woody. This is more masculine, and it's heavy on the vanilla. That's what it is. Vanilla heavy, woody, and you get a nice rose out of Mancera's Instant Crush. To me, it's better than BR540. Very sexy, very date night approved. It's powerful, it's strong. This is a good one. So next up, we have one from Natethefragranceguy, which is actually a clone. I have 2 clones in this list. I couldn't do a list without clones. I love clones, and I just think it offers great scent profiles for a lesser budget. Gotta show love to the clones. But we have Oud for Glory by Natethefragranceguy. And this is another one that gets kind of compared to that BR540 style of DNA. Because of that saffron. This is saffron, oud, warm, spicy, sweet, a nice fragrance. It gets very close to that original DNA. And I'm telling you, you will be fine with the clone. If you don't feel like peeling off all that bread for the original, this is gonna do you justice. This is really, really nice, date night approved, sexy. It's unisex, but I feel like it's slightly masculine, if you ask me. It leans a little masculine. I like this one a lot. Natethefragranceguy, Body Out Oud for Glory. Next up, we have one from the house of Bulgari, and that is Man in Black. This is perfect for a steakhouse dinner, date night. It smells fancy, it smells elegant, it smells rich, if you ask me. This is leather, this is booze, you got some rum, leather, tobacco, woody. I think it's tuberose in this. You got some tonka bean. It's a lot going on with this scent. It's beautiful, it's masculine, it's sexy. This is a nice scent. It has some mass appeal to it too. It's not just like it's not super animalic or anything like that with the leather and all of that. This is really, really nice. If you want like something that smells a little more grown up, less playful, definitely try Bulgari Man in Black. Now this next one is not going to be for everybody, but it is an amazing scent. It's an amazing scent profile. I don't know, try it out. It may be a love at first sniff. It may take some getting used to. For me, I had to get used to it. I'm talking about Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. And this one is really nice. The only thing I had a problem with was that opening, man, it's very, very harsh. Not harsh, but it could be overwhelming. It's super spicy. It smells like cloves. It's extremely spicy in the opening. You obviously got tobacco. It's a nice tobacco with some sweet, thick vanilla. And then you have dried fruits in the base, which gives it like a plum smell. It's like a dried plum. If you ever smelled like dried plums or dried raisins, well, raisins are already dry, but raisins or plums, dried plums or plum juice, it's like that. Dried fruits. It smells exactly like plums, if you ask me, like dried plums. It smells good. This is not mass appealing, if you ask me. I know a lot of people love tobacco vanille in the fragrance community. You see a lot of people talk about it. But if you're someone just getting into this is not going to be super mass appealing, but it is good. So try it out. Okay, so next up is from the House of Dior, and it was either going to be one or the other. I could have went Parfum, but I chose to go Dior Homme Intense. I got a big 5-ounce bottle. I would never go through all this juice. But the price I got this for, I couldn't pass it up. We're not talking about that. We're talking about this being a great scent for a fancy steakhouse dinner, which it is. This is a little more mass appealing than the Parfum. That's why I went with it. And you'll come across this before the Parfum. But this is a beautiful iris. This is that powdery, chalky iris. You get some earthiness to it, the woods. A slight fruity accord in here. I think it's pear, but I don't really get the pear. It's just like a nice ambery kind of vibe to it with the nice iris, powdery, sweet. I guess the fruity accord attributes to the sweetness in this fragrance. This is not a sweet fragrance, but you do get some sweetness out of this. You got some lavender, vetiver. You know, it's a very light note breakdown, but it smells way. It's a lot going on with the smell of this fragrance, but yeah, mostly you can just get an iris. This is just iris, like a darkened, sexy iris. This is really good. Next up, we have a fragrance from Fragrance World. This is a clone, obviously, and I'm talking about Ebony Fume, or Ebony Fume, which is duping Tom Ford's Ebane Fume, or Ebene Fume. I never knew how to say it, the original, but this is an amazing fragrance, man. It smells so good. It smells sexy. It smells mature. It smells like just a man. It smells like money. That's what this smells like. This is just beautiful, and they did the clone very well. I'm a big fan of the OG. I will get a bottle. It is expensive, but this is leather. This is saffron, not saffron. I think it's rose. This is rose, leather. You have some Palo Santo, some incense, some warm spiciness. It's very resinous. Resins, what else is in here? I'm drawing a blank, but the note breakdown is really nice. This is so good. Check it out. Go to any place that carries a Tom Ford private blend. Smell Ebene Fume. And then if you want to buy it, buy it. But if you don't, go check out Ebony Fume by Fragrance World. It's damn near identical. Last but not least, this is slightly new to the collection. I love the clone, which is right here. And I will vouch for the clone. It's great. Vol Elegante. But I'm talking about Naxos. I got a partial. I don't need a full bottle at this point. I have so many fragrances. I don't need a full bottle, but this would be ideal. This might be probably like, if I had to rank out of all these fragrances, which one would be the best one for the date? If you was going to a fancy steakhouse, this would be either like 1 or 2. Probably 2. This would be top 3. Top 3 out of the 6 or 7 I got right here. I would be reaching for this. Tobacco, honey, some lavender, some citruses at the top. I think it's tonka bean in this. It's a nice, thick, sweet fragrances, but slightly fresh in the opening. This is just a good fragrance. Xerjoff does great work. Quality, you can smell it. It just smells like quality to me. I love Xerjoff. This is really nice, man. Sexy, not overbearing, not overwhelming, not harsh. This is just easy going. Probably one of the most mass appealing niche fragrances you can buy. Xerjoff, Naxos, super sexy. This one is really nice. So that's it, guys. Those were 6 or 7. I don't even remember. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 fragrances. 7 fragrances that I feel like would be great for that steakhouse dinner date. Put on something nice. It don't gotta be nothing fancy. You don't need no suit. You don't need nothing crazy, but just a nice fit, clean cut, looking clean, looking good. Throw on one of these scents. You're gonna be good to go. Good to go. Any of those steakhouses, you're good. Check them out. If you don't have them, get your nose on them. Try them, please. For me, they're great. Nathan Fragrance Guy. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm signing out.